Babies are drinking a mixture of flour and water because there is no milk in Gaza. Do you know what happens to your body when you drink flour and water? It can cause in adult humans bloating and constipation. So imagine what that does to a baby's body. The mixture can and most likely will thicken in the body and cause a blockage in the digestive tract, something that's not even slightly developed in babies, which is why they don't eat solid foods before a certain age to begin with. Not only is it completely lacking in essential nutrients, but drinking flour with water can hinder future nutrients absorption. Do you know what happens to children under the age of 5 who don't absorb enough nutrients? With something like physical development, it can cause things like stunted growth and weight gain issues, a weakened immune system, which means that they're more susceptible to infections and illnesses, and delayed motor skills, which will lead to poor muscle development and coordination. When it comes to cognitive development, it will cause learning difficulties, leading to memory problems, attention issues, and the inability to problem solve, which weakens resiliency. It causes developmental delays in things like speech and language and social skills. I know these things because I have children, and these are all things they tell you at the pediatrician's office when you have children. They're also things that you read in the parenting books that we all bought or on the mommy blogs and forums that we get lost in online late at night. And there are things that you hear coming out of every parenting influencer or expert on the internet who's made it pretty crystal clear that they actually don't give a shit about children. So I know that almost every parent I know in my real life and online knows these things. We are taught to feed our children throughout the day because what they eat now affects their future. We know this. I had 2 babies. I nursed for 10 months with my first and 13 months with my second. And for the first 6 months of their lives, they drank milk every 2 hours. Mothers in Gaza can't breastfeed because they have no water or food for themselves, so they can't produce anything for their children. And Israel is blocking the entry of things like baby formula because they're sadistic who are enjoying starving Palestinian babies. So in an effort to soothe hunger cries, which again, a well-fed baby cries in hunger roughly every 2 hours, so I can't even imagine how often a day a hungry baby cries, they're feeding their babies a mixture of water and flour. Flour and water. Do you know what else is made with flour and water? Sure, it's things like breads and pasta if you have access to an oven or a stove to cook these things, but when you don't, it also makes things like glue and Play-Doh and clay. Babies are drinking a mixture of flour and water because Israel is a sadistic of a settler colony that is forcibly starving Palestinian children so they can weaken our future generations or simply wipe us out. Babies are drinking flour and water.